Hey guys, what's up? It's Jason from the Brass Brigade. Hope you're doing well. So check it out. This is the Devium Deadeye Take 2. So I just tried to review this jacket and I forgot some stuff. So check it out. This is the Devium Deadeye, all right? At the Brass Brigade, I have a 40 possible point scoring system. You can get up to 10 points in 4 categories. Those are comfort, build, price, and cool factor. The Devium Deadeye is comfortable. It's sick. It's like jumping into a sleeping bag, all right? So I just reviewed it, and then I reviewed the review and realized I forgot some key details, all right? So I'm redoing it. So for comfort, this thing gets a 10, all right? Not only is it super comfortable, but Devium is 100% made and sourced from the United States of America. That's right. This thing is 100% sourced from the USA. I've reviewed several, made in the US type jackets, but they might outsource like the lining or, the buttons, but they might be actually put together here. But this, unlike those companies, is literally 100% made in the USA. So for comfort, it gets a 10, all right? It's super comfortable. This is a size large, okay? I'm 5'11", about 160 pounds. Normally I buy a medium, but I wanted a do-all jacket, so I actually sized up and got this in a size large, so I can rock this thing underneath something like the Devium Boca flannel that I'm sporting right now, right? Or like a hoodie. For build, the only reason the Devium is getting a 9 is because part of why it's getting a 9 is also part of why the build is so cool. Okay, it doesn't have as much stitch work and pleating and back gussets as some of my other wax canvas jackets. So because the build just isn't quite where those are, I have to give it a 9. But that also gives you a super simple silhouette and it just looks clean, right? I kind of like the fact it doesn't have shoulder gussets because it just has a super clean look, right? Everything is sourced from the US. The wax canvas is a 9.5 ounce Oxford sailcloth, which is just, fancy wax canvas. The quilting is all sourced from the US. The quilting goes through the entirety of the lining, including the arms. One thing I didn't point out on my first take was they use like a 14 whale cloth, or maybe it's 14 ounce, but anyways, they use like corduroy lining for your cuffs right here. What else? The buttons are made, I think, in like Kentucky or North Carolina. The patches are, made in California. The jacket is designed in Truckee, California. And check this out. This is the part I forgot in the first take. Check out the pocket bags. What? Dude, they're lined with the softest, like brushed flannel, which also is sourced from the USA. Dude, this thing is super comfortable. The build is top notch, but again, because it doesn't have shoulder gussets, it's just, there's a lot less stitch work that goes into this as some of the other wax canvas jackets I reviewed. I gotta give it a 9. For price, dude, a 10. A 10. 100% made in the USA. Everything is sourced from the USA. $378. $378. This thing's under $400 for an entirely, USA made and sourced wax canvas jacket. That's a 10. Cool factor, also a 10. All right, Devium's doing it. Everything they make is sourced from the USA. They take pride in knowing that everything they're making is, built here, and every time you buy like a Devium product, you're also supporting other small businesses like the guys that make their buttons, or the guys that make the wax, or you know what I mean, or the guys that maybe make their flannel material or the buttons on those flannels. Everything's sourced from the USA. Super cool. This gets a total score of 39 at the Brass Brigade. Anything above a 35 I highly recommend. The Devium Deadeye is sick. If you're looking for like a do-all jacket, something you can just grab one of these, dude. They're sick. Again, simple layout, great to layer with. If you're between like 5'8", 5'11", say like 140 pounds to 160 pounds. If you want a little bit more tailored fit, maybe go with a medium. But if you want to layer up, maybe go with a large. But yeah, the Devium Deadeye, absolutely just a cool jacket. Oh, one more thing, the wax canvas. So it's not as thick as some of my wax canvas jackets, but two things I noticed. This thing is super soft and not tacky. So it doesn't have that like waxy feeling that some of the wax canvas jackets I own do have. Yeah, again, it's super comfortable out of the box, man. It's a good jacket, man. Check out Devium. Tell them the Brass Brigade sent you, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Yeah.